is going on, everyone? So we have got a big update involving UberEATS, and UberEATS has decided that we will no longer have to use the digits on the screen to identify if whether the ID is legit or not for a customer. So every single customer and driver will have to now confirm ID for age verification alcohols. So that means the Challenge 25 will no longer exist. And by that being said, that means that this is going to be easier. You literally take your phone and scan the ID card. Now, I know you all heard me speaking about this in the past, and I feel like it's going to save time, especially with alcohol orders. You know, when you deliver alcohol, especially, you have to make sure that it's a good environment. So they expect you to check to see if the person's sober. I don't know if we've ever discussed this before, but sometimes that's why I would ask someone to work the phone, because that's one way to tell if they're sober or not, to see if they can balance and stay zoned in whilst they're, you know, trying to put in their identification. At the same time, they can have the card in their hand and you can pre what's going on. It makes sense to see if they're sober. It's like one of my little tricks. But I personally think the ID scan is the best way forward, especially with a lot of drivers not wanting to scan the ID or not wanting to ask for ID and just verify the age identification, which I think a lot of you have to realize. You could be delivering to someone that works for one of these companies and they will be monitoring what's taking place. So the more you get caught out doing that, I'm pretty sure it's not just yourself that gets fined. The restaurant gets fined, plus, etc. I'm pretty sure it is. I'll have to research it and look it up. But on another note, we have some more news, right? And I think this is where the video goes whoop, because it's recently been put out that Uber has partnered with a company towards the drone industry. Now, I did tell you guys months about this, that it was coming. And at the time of saying that, I thought that we had more time than I think we did. But I'm going to be honest, I think we probably have about 2 years. And I'll run a few clips for you all.
Today, we're here at San Diego State University to do the first of a series of trials in terms of actually delivering food in an integrated way with UberEATS.
In brief little here and there, and one of the guys, he quotes that within 7 drivers in a restaurant waiting for orders, etc. So they know that the market's good, it's busy, and they want to improve it and make it faster.
This is a wonderful opportunity, and I think what this collaboration does is it makes it real. You make it see where better developments in drones, the basic research, can really change and improve people's lives.
Which means they know that there's issues within the driver community, i.e. orders being stolen, restaurants not wanting to replace the order. So that means the customers then going through the issue of, oh, do I want to order again? The experience has been ruined, it's been damaged for them. They're not quite happy with it. So for companies like Uber, Just Eat, Deliveroo, and Just Eat's the company that has happily put it out on their website to say that the drones will be AI flown, sorry. So basically, they're not going to need pilots, in other words, because the drone's already going to have the mapping system for where the order needs to go to. It's going to get there even faster.
Today, we just did a very limited initial run, but we'll be building up in complexity as we get these additional approvals from the FAA over time, as we're able to then execute this simple mission, but do it in a safe, repeatable, and very reliable way.
Deliveroo is that advanced in the drone market that they are now delivering food in Ireland by drone. So when I say to you that it's coming faster than we think it is, expect it in a year or two to be in England.
Deliveroo launched its first drone delivery trial in Blanchardstown, Dublin, in June 2025, partnering with drone operator Mana Air Delivery to bring fast, low-emission food deliveries to customers within a 3 kilometers radius. The service, which uses drones to lower food to the ground via a tether, aims to improve delivery times and reach, with plans for potential expansion across the UK and Ireland.
Testing period, and I'm pretty sure it's already been agreed on for the testing zone, and that testing zone is going to last about 8 months. Once it clears and it all works out, it's Bob's your uncle. But there's a few other things that I did look into. So for example, UberEATS has dark kitchens, but the restaurants have to put their franchise into the dark kitchen. So Uber can't just go around and buy up franchises and then stick it into a dark kitchen, because Uber's like us, and so is Deliveroo and Just Eat. We're a third-party delivery service, which means I don't think you can legally own a franchise and then deliver in that manner of speaking like we do.
How a dark kitchen works. Online orders. Customers place food orders via websites or delivery apps like UberEATS or Deliveroo. Delivery-only focus. The kitchen prepares food for these orders, but has no dine-in option. Delivery. Food is packaged and then delivered to the customer's location by a driver.
Yeah, and I think that's where the government has an issue, because it's harder for them to track us. And I think in the last 2 years, a majority of major companies have been handing over all information to the tax department to try and locate what's going on where. And I think with that being said, I think they've found a few more things than people possibly were expecting to. Which we've seen a lot of news titles towards and everything and stuff like that. So for the companies itself, so that they're not getting £60,000 fines or even bigger fines, it solves multiple issues. And I feel like in main cities like central London, Birmingham, Manchester, places like that where a drone's going to struggle to get to, because bear in mind, drones can't really go into places where it's populated with a lot of people. So there's always going to be spaces where they might not be able to deliver to, but a cyclist could, or a moped or a car. So they'll more than likely keep a certain amount of drivers on. But this is the time where I think a lot of drivers need to realise it's either you shape up, or in soon time you could lose your position. And as we've seen before, Uber's not shy of taking on new drivers. I'm pretty sure it's a 3-week process for someone to get on board. And if you're someone that does want to drive, don't hesitate. Sign up, enroll, get your accounts going. I will be honest, Deliveroo and Just Eat is going to be the hardest ones for you to enroll with, because they have like a strict waiting list. So the policy is a bit different. But with Uber, I think a lot of people come on, sometimes they turn off, because it doesn't matter what company you start with. I always say it, your first week is going to be your hardest week. And after that first week, you either continue to push forward or you don't, you know? Especially when it comes to pedaling, because a lot of people find it easy because they can twist the bike and go. But with that not being an option as much nowadays, and people realising that the police will take their bikes, it's a bigger risk. But yeah, so I'm obviously going to place in some clips in between things as I've been speaking to show examples of what I'm talking about. But you guys can go and Google this stuff for yourself. I'll drop a few links down in the video and everything for you all, so that you can see. UberEATS has put out a full article on their webpage for their drone industry and the company that they will be working with. So does Deliveroo and Just Eat. And Just Eat's page is what was the most shocking, because that was where I realised, wait, the drones actually are going to have AI attachments. And for companies like Uber, they've been working on this for the last 6 years. So this is big investments. For a lot of you to think that we've got 5-10 years before the drones come into play, believe me, you're wrong. You either get your cards right now and work out what the if, buts and maybes are, or when the time comes, don't act like you didn't hear about it. And I've been saying this now for at least 8 months. And I guarantee you a lot of you are going to be like, oh no, we didn't want this to be true. I don't want this to be true. But for the things of like people avoiding tax, like I said, the illegals working, And you have to remember, even if someone like me is making videos, no matter if I'm making videos or not, this job is always going to be in the public eye. The media sees you 24/7. There's constant stories about us, like the guy with 3 accounts making 3-4 grand a week, or whatever it was in London. All of the rest of it, it all adds up. The bad stories that come towards the company because of our own doings affects what they're valued at. And when it affects what they're valued at, there's no way that they're going to offer us more money to deliver. What they will do is they'll find a solution and say, okay, look, we'll get rid of the problem. So don't be the problem, be a part of the team, and just be prepared. It's coming. I'm getting ready to go out and film Ghostface. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We got the Stab 3 mask here. I think we're going to start off with this one. I can't remember where I put the other mask. Costumes there, ready to go. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. But get ready.